Hi, welcome to another Dad Cooks Better. We're back from a well-earned vacation. Now today I'm going to make a traditional Mexican dish. You know, for people who know me, they know my family, half my family is from Mexico and my mother-in-law is actually from Veracruz. So today I'm going to make Pescado a la Veracruzana, or fish in the sauce of Veracruz. Now that has a long tradition to when the Spanish actually came to the coast of Mexico, and it's like a mix where Mexico meets the Mediterranean. Let's go over the ingredients real quick. Now, what do we need for the Pescado a la Veracruzana? Today I'm using some fresh cod, about half an onion, 1 clove of garlic. These is about roughly 2 to 3 teaspoons of capers, not too much. This is about 2 tablespoons of thyme. These are about 3 tablespoons of dried oregano. I'm going to be using about 60 to 70 grams, or about 4 to 5 tablespoons of olives, some bay leaves. This is a little bit of dried chicken stock, which I'm going to use to lengthen the sauce a little bit, and about 500 to 600 grams of tomatoes. I'm using these small tomatoes because they're a little bit more intense in flavor. And a little additional twist, I'm going to put one of these sweet peppers in. Obviously some salt and pepper and a little bit of water to lengthen the sauce. So I'm going to start by chopping my onions. Now I like to chop them like this in half rings, you know. I like my sauces, and especially like this sauce, I like to have a little bit of texture to the sauce. I'm going to chop the garlic. Now the garlic I'm going to chop really fine, because I want the garlic to be able to dissolve into the sauce and not, when you're biting into it, having all the chunky flavors of the garlic in your mouth. So I'm just going to chop this really fine, just like this. Okay, that should do it. Doesn't need to be too fine. I'm going to start by cutting some of the olives. You can leave them whole if you want, but I just like to just slice them in half. Just like this. So they're a little bit easier to put on your mouth. Remember, everything you put on your spoon needs to be bite-sized. So, cut them up like this. The olives, we're going to put those in near the end. When the sauce is almost ready, the last couple of minutes, that's when we're going to put in the olives. Okay, those are the olives. Put these back in here for a second. Okay, I'm going to start cutting my tomatoes. Now the tomatoes, you don't need to chop them too fine, you just need to chop them small enough so they have a chance to dissolve into the sauce. Now, while I'm doing my tomatoes, I'm going to start by heating my pan. The garlic. I'm going to look to put this thing here, just like this. Garlic's ready. So, tomatoes, just like that. They don't need to be too fine, just so they dissolve quickly. If you want, you can take out the seeds, you don't have to. But the best part of the tomato flavor is actually in the seeds. That's where you get your most intense flavor, especially to make sauces. So, those are the tomatoes. Okay, I'm going to finish cutting up these tomatoes here, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, finished chopping up the tomatoes. I got the onion ready. Just going to give a quick cut to some of the sweet paprika I got, sweet pepper. I'm not going to use it all. If you want, you can use it all. I'm not going to use it all. I'm just going to use part of it. See if there's any seeds in there. Put those over here, the seeds. This is just going to add a little extra flavor to the sauce. I'm just going to give it a quick slice again. I'm not going to chop it too fine. You know, we do have good teeth, So we aren't cooking for a retirement home, so we can have a little bit of structure in what we eat. Okay. Now I think my pan is almost hot enough, so that goes the bell pepper. Now let's take another little piece. There we go. Just put that in there. Okay, we're going to start frying. My pan's nice and hot. I'm going to put a little tablespoon of olive oil in there. Now I'm going to start by frying the onions. Start by frying the onions and the bell pepper. Why these two together? It's because they have more or less the same consistency to start frying. Now in about a minute or two, I'm going to add the garlic. I'm not going to add the garlic right now because the garlic, as you can see, is a lot smaller than the onions and the pepper. So what's going to happen before this starts turning or getting a color, my garlic is going to start burning. So I'm just going to hold off with the garlic for a minute. Just going to get this in there. Start giving this a little bit of color. There we go. Now this is the sauce roughly for about 2 people. So that's also, you know, this fish can be 1 person, about 2 people, cut it in half. We can serve this with some rice or boiled potato if you want to. But mostly it's served with rice and tacos or tortillas, corn tortillas. People who know a little bit about the Mediterranean food, this also looks a lot like the French version. It's called Provençal. There's some similarities in there, except that the Provençal doesn't get any olives in it. So this is going pretty nice. So one's escaping there. You can see we're being on vacation. I'm having a hard time keeping the food in the pan. It's alive! Okay, now before I add this, I need to reduce the heat a bit and add some extra moisture. I'm going to do that by adding the tomatoes. So, there we go. Tomatoes go in. Look at that. There we go. Now we're going to just let this reduce a little bit. And now's the time I'm going to add my garlic. There we go. Just like that. Now for people who like to chop the onion very small and the peppers very small, you can add your garlic in at the same time. But because I like to have it a little bit lumpy, I put my garlic in when I add my tomatoes. Okay, just going to let this simmer a little bit. Now at this point, still got a little bit of this cube of chicken broth. About half I'm going to put in right now. Just going to let this dissolve a little bit. I'm going to turn down the heat just a small bit. Don't want it drying out too much too quick. Want the vegetables to have time to cook. There we go. Okay, there we go. At this point, I'm going to just let this boil or simmer slowly. Turn down the heat a little bit. And I'm going to add some bay leaves, just to add to the flavor. I'm going to just let this simmer a little bit. Now I already started adding some condiments, salt and pepper to the fish. Already put some black pepper. And I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. There we go. You can do that on both sides. Just like this. And a little bit of pepper. Okay. Now I'm just going to turn up the heat so I can slowly start frying my fish. Just going to fry this in some olive oil. capers and my olives I'm going to put in at the end. And then once everything's from the fire, a couple of minutes before serving, I'm going to add my dry herbs. Okay, just see what, warm up the pan here so I can start frying the fish. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to put any salt in yet because I used chicken broth, but I am going to start putting in a good twist of black pepper. Just like that. And I just may add a small tick of water, not too much. Just a little bit. So it doesn't dry out before my fish is ready. Okay. There we go. Up a little bit and see if the pan's hot. Not yet. Okay. It's about time to add the olives and put in my capers. There we go. Just look at the color combination of that. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, pan's hot. Start putting in the fish. Okay. Turn down the fire a little bit. Just do some of this. Man, nothing beats some fresh fish. Get some of that good olive oil on the top of the fish. This sauce is coming along beautifully. Okay. Time to give the sauce a quick taste, see how we at. Flavor's good. Could use a little bit of extra salt. There we go. Extra pepper. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Art in the making. Okay, this sauce is ready. I'm going to take it off the fire. Now's the time when I'm going to add my dry herbs. There we go. Just let it off. Man, smell this. Beautiful. Okay, put this here on the side. Fish is almost ready. There we go. This needs about a minute or two more. I'll be back with you in a second to show you how to dress the plate. Now, this fish is almost ready. Gonna slide it on the plate here. Try not to break it. And this beautiful, lovely sauce. Now, your traditional, original Mexican recipe, this has a chili güero. It's a long type yellow chili. But, you know, in my neck of the woods, we don't have that, so we just make do with what we have. Now, just smell this. Get some nice olives in there. All the vegetables still have a little bit of bite to it. There's still a little bit of al dente. Just look at that. That's simple. Just let me move the bay leaf away. Now, this wouldn't be Mexican cuisine if we didn't put a little bit of lime juice on top of it like that. There we go. Let's give it a taste. Ah man, just look how nice this fish falls apart. Just look at that. Should be illegal to cook this good. Okay, I was Philip from That Cooks Better. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you got any requests, just mail them to me. I'll see what I can do, and see you next time. I'm gonna enjoy finishing my dinner. See you next time. Bye.